Hey guys, and Happy New Year. Thanks for stopping by the shop today, checking out what we've been up to. Been making a little more progress on the old Dragon Wagon here, our 1966 Chevy Nova Wagon. Yeah, things are going slower than we planned. So, did a little work on our fuel system, did a little work on the conversion from internally regulated to from externally regulated to internally regulated. Somebody thought they converted it, but didn't. We figured that out, and working on that remote oil filter relocation setup. So, again, thanks for stopping by the shop. Thanks for supporting the channel, and let's get after it. All right, guys, a little update here. While we were getting the motor running and got it idling there, I was noticing in the gauges that the volt gauge was only showing 10.5 volts. So I thought, oh crap, battery's dying and the alternator ain't charging. So we took the alternator out. And, if you look here, we got a voltage regulator, so I got to do some digging in the wiring there. But externally regulated, got a plug for internally regulated. Once I got it out, I looked at the numbers on it. It's an old school late 60s to mid 70s 10SI, which is internally regulated one wire. Went and had it tested at advanced, and advanced it came out, it works. It's fine. It's perfectly good. So what I'm thinking is they converted the plug over to internally regulated. It's still hooked up to the regulator because I'm seeing it plugged in right here. This is regulating it even down further. So I'm going to do the simple fix for this, but I got to pull off and see what they did. Again, I'm not going to rely on anybody doing half of what they're supposed to anymore, because this whole one tooth off thing, I should have just, when I pulled the distributor, I should have just went back to square one and started from scratch and put the new distributor in like there'd never been one in there, and I wouldn't have had any of those problems. But I was expecting that the person before me had done the right thing, and I put it in exactly the way they did, and yada, yada, yada. Lesson learned. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to dig through some of this wiring here and see what's going on. But I just noticed something else. When I was taking the alternator off, I thought, God, this is just a weird bracket. Because I had to unloosen all of this so that the alternator would loosen up enough to go that way and down and out. Well, look at this, guys. This bracket technically is usually upside down. It goes hooked this way and bolts over here. And you can see where it would bolt over there. And somebody welded it, cut and made their own bracket. It looks like, because it even have a curve over there, it even looks like it's two brackets. So they must have, for some reason, needed to move this way for clearance on something. I don't know what, but it works. We're going to leave it. The belt's tighter than crap. It's lined up. It doesn't seem to be walking or wobbling, so we're going to leave it. But I tell you what, just figuring out what somebody else did is one thing. Figuring out why they did it is a whole nother ball game. I'm sure I am curious, because that is they didn't even cut this bracket. They cut an old bracket and welded a perfectly good bracket to it. But this is the old bracket. Maybe it broke, but even then, why would you weld? You have a new one. This bolt here would go on the bottom, and this bolt here would line up with the top, and it would hook here, and the alternator would be sitting right there. Why did they want it up over here? And to do it, why'd you go upside down? Yeah, it's all loose. Yeah, I had to get it loose to get it out, so. Just something to think about, guys. Again, archaeology, making my brain hurt, scratching my head, trying to figure out what the hell was somebody else trying to do and why. So, yeah, I'm going to dig into that. I'll see if I can set up the camera and do a little videotaping of digging in there, or I'll just come back when I find what I see and go from there. So, yeah, I'm going to go from scratch. I'm going to dig this out and just see how it had been wired. And see if they did it right, because that technically, all you have to do is undo the prongs from an old internally or externally regulated one. You just undo what's inside here, and because the other clip doesn't look like this, it's narrower and they're turned sideways. But you can just pop these out, and put them into this clip, just like he did, but it looks like it would be a blue and white wire, not a red and white. So I'm assuming somewhere in here, he probably spliced it to the blue and white. I'm going to make sure that's done right. If that's done right, great. And I'm going to go through, because it comes up through here, and then there's the horn regulator right there. Horn relay or whatever. And usually you patch that into the horn relay, and that way the alternator can sense if there's a voltage drop and get excited, and it triggers the exciter to raise the voltage. So if you're running at 40 amps and all of a sudden you need 63 and it's a 63 amp alternator, it'll go up to 63 amps and give you that extra juice. So we'll see, make sure that that's wired in correctly. And then all I gotta do is pull this plug out and do 2 jumper wires into the plug so that the voltage, because it's already being regulated internally, you don't need this. So I'm going to take it out because they're ugly, and I'll do the flippy flip, and I'll get it started. When I get it started again, we'll check the voltage, and if we're charging at 13.5, 14, we know we did good. Then I'll probably trace it back through this harness. I don't know if I want to tear that apart. He did a good job taping it up. I'll probably just do that for a while. I'll probably do a new harness in this eventually down the road, because this still got the glass fuses underneath there and whatnot, and there's only like 6 service ports, and it'd be nice to do a bus fuse one with 12, and that way if I ever decide to upgrade to power windows 20 years down the road, 10 years down the road, or put a stereo and some tunes in this thing for cruising, or if I want to do fuel injection and want to do a fuel pump, I've got the circuits to do it. And but we'll see how good all this wiring is. For now, we're just getting it running, getting it working, and we'll drive it the way it is. It's just got to be safe, guys. Just got to be safe. So, and then I'll pull that out today because that new one will be here Thursday. It's Tuesday, so it'll be here Thursday. I'll probably get it out just to make sure that the push rod is actually in there, and maybe I have to order one of them or pull one out of that motor. And then we'll run some fuel line. I'm going to see about running a filter between here and here. And then I'm going to run a filter between here and here. So, and I am going to hook up that fuel tank. I don't know if I can look down in there or not. Hook up the fuel tank that's in here. I got a little endoscope that works on my phone. I don't work on my phone no more. You know, it asks you to update the software for it, and then you do that, and then they ask you for a credit card. I need to put a credit card in to use the software for my endoscope that I bought like 5 years ago and has worked perfectly fine, and now all of a sudden you want to charge me? Oh, we won't charge you, but we need your credit card in case you want to buy anything while we're trying to... No. So now my endoscope's junk. I can't get the thing to work because every damn piece of software out there to make it run is asking me for a credit card to put it on the cloud. I don't want it on the cloud. I just want to use it. I don't even want to save the video. And if I did save the video, I'll save it on my phone. I don't need the cloud. I don't need to pay for it. What the hell's going on with the world today, people? Frustrating piece of equipment. So now I got to go spend $100-something and buy an endoscope that doesn't use software in the cloud, because it's the second time I've needed to use it in about the last month. I don't use it a lot, but second time in a month. That tells me I need to buy a better one, I guess. Anyways, so I don't have any way to look down inside that tank. The tank's empty. It's probably got garbage in the bottom. I'll throw some Lucas in there. We'll throw like 5 gallons in there, and I'll hook blow the line out from here to the tank and get that good and clean, and then I'll put a filter out back there connecting the tank to the line, and then a filter up here, or maybe I'll just put a filter back there. That might be easier. There's not a lot of room up here. But I think it's a 10 micron, and then you got the clear paper filters, and I'll put that between the carb and the pump itself, and that way I can watch and see what's coming through and what garbage is happening. Double whammy it, and when that fuel pump shows up Thursday, it's usually late Thursday, I'll probably put it in Friday, and then we can see if it'll run on its own juices instead of the electric pump. I need to pull the front bowl off this carb and double check that float because it wasn't acting like it was supposed to. And yeah, got a couple things to do. Just monkeying around is what we're doing. Monkeying around in the shop. So that's the update. I'll be back later and I'll show you what I found in the harness if there's anything worth talking about. Otherwise, I'll just show you that it's hooked up. Probably ain't going to run the vehicle today because, like I said, I got to pull that bowl. And then I do want to run it one more time with it running right. I want to get it up to temp. I have not let it run for more than 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes, really. I'd like to let it run for about 10-15 minutes, see if I can get the thermostat to open up, make sure there's no weird leaks and stuff like that. And then I'm going to go through and set the valves one last time properly. I actually came across the respected engine builder that shows a way better way of setting the valves than I've ever done. Really smart. So I'm going to put it down on a cheat sheet so I have it and hanging on the wall so I can follow it. Real smart, real easy, no brainer. It'll be set right for hydraulic lifters, and we'll go from there. And then hopefully by this weekend, yeah, because the shift cable will be here too. Maybe by this weekend I can actually pull it out of the shop on its own power, drive it around the parking lot. That'd be something. That'd be a Merry Christmas for me. So, all right, guys. There she is. We'll be back. All right, 2 seconds in, and yep, exactly what I thought. So, they took the red and white plug. You can buy this whole pigtail thing at any hardware store or any automotive store. But they cut the wire off. They cut the original, the blue and white wire, and they just butted it in, and then they wrapped it with, they did a good job. I mean, wrapped it with all this stuff all the way down. But all you needed to do was, you know, stick a real thin screwdriver in there and pop these out of the other harness, and they pop right into this, and you'd have had the factory colors and factory wires going there. So I may leave it like this because, I mean, I'd have to cut these and then get new ends and then come back over here and put the ends on, and I don't know if it's gonna be long enough. So, but I'm gonna trace it the rest of the way up. I'm already looking. You can see it's wiggling right here. I don't have anything going unless it goes in and comes back out to the horn relay. I just want to make sure that's done right or not. I see power wire in there crossing over, so it might go to the horn relay somewhere up in here. Yeah, I'm gonna get up into this junk. All right, guys, I think this is done right. So back over here to the alternator run. Here's your main battery line. This is needs to come up to junction with, when you're doing externally regulated, it needs to come up and go to the regulator, and it also needs to tie in with the, as I mentioned a minute ago, the horn relay, which is down there. So peeled this back, got the big gauge going through, converts to blue and white. Come over here, blue and white comes out, the big gauge comes out, factory protection here, and this is where it's soldered. One of these goes into this wire, which goes into here, which goes to the headlights and probably down into the battery. Yeah, because it's going to come out through here and go over there and goes to the battery junction. The other one goes to the regulator, which of course is what it would do. And then the third one, you can see that one down there, and that goes over onto our horn relay. So right here is where they're all jumped together, and that way it can sense a decrease in power, which causes the exciter to kick on and offer up more power. So I should be good taking this off and running the jumper wire in the actual plug, and that jumper wire will eliminate this, still make the exciter work. And if we had a dummy gauge or a generator light, it would make that pop on when the key comes on and go off once it's running. So, but we should be able to see power being generated through the system at over 12 volts. So we're good to go. I'm gonna clean this all back up and recover it, get the alternator in, get it all plugged up, take this off, get the jumper wire on, and we'll be good to go. Next time I run it, I can check and see if we're getting, 13, 14 volts. One step closer to getting this thing out of here, moving on its own power. Hey guys, just a little update. Found on Marketplace a set of Pro Car seats that have never been installed. I think you'll look good in the Nova Wagon. So we're out in Derailed right now, the old ex-railroad truck, because it's the only truck I got that's got a bed cover that'll fit the seats, putting it to work. So, little look out the window. Heading on over on a rainy ass day to pick up some seats that are brand new. Seem to be a pretty good deal. The old truck's running good. Still has a little hesitation going around corners. We're gonna have to figure that out. There's not much left that it could be, but it's just eluding me what it is. So yeah, it's an update. We'll give it a stop and give a picture of when we get the seats, if we end up getting them, if they're as good as they look in the pictures, and then this ain't no BS Marketplace scam. So, all right, gloomy day, chasing parts for the Nova Wagon. All right, guys, ended up being a decent deal, so I went ahead and picked them up and brought them home. Pro Touring type seats. They come with a headrest, but you have to install them, and I don't want a headrest, so they're low backs this way. And the guy was going to put them in a pickup truck. He gave me the bracket for the pickup truck. I don't need that. Or maybe I do. Maybe it works in the Nova. I don't know. We'll have to see. They'd be really low on the floor otherwise in the Nova. So I'd get a better picture here, or a better video, and maybe I will later, but it's pouring out, and if I open the door, they're going to get wet, and I had them covered in plastic. But it's weird. You can see the little design on the backrest. It's every so many inches. It's like a something in the cloth, like a watermark in the cloth. Weird. Hardly see it. Just in the right light, it shows up. Kind of bizarre. Anybody knows what that is? Let me know. It's on both seats, same spot. So many, top and bottom seat, same mark. It's like a little faded spot, but with the light, and a certain light, you don't see it at all. I mean, I had to stand in his garage looking at him. I had to kind of cock my head weird to do it with this light shining out, LED light. It really shows up. But for the price, these are, I'm gonna go look up right now. I'm gonna grab the part number and go look them up right now. But Pro Car seats, just in plain vinyl, no cloth, no houndstooth, are $450 each. $439 each, $450 each, whatever, give or take $10. So that'd be $900, call it, for the pair. And I think that seat rack is another $100. So I'll call it $1,000 is what you have in all of this, maybe more. I'm gonna look up, make sure I'm not lying to you, not misleading you with information I'm not 100% sure of. But that being said, $600 for everything, brand new, never been sat in, never been mounted. So I shouldn't say ever been sat in. I sat in them, and he sat in them all to test them, and they're really, boy, I'm getting fat. They're snug, but I gain any more weight, I'll have to sell them. It'll just motivate me to lose some weight. None of my fat friends can come with me. Nothing against fat people. I are one. So, anyways, there they are. Let me know. I think it'll fit the era of the vehicle, being black with the houndstooth. I was thinking of doing blue interior in it, but he's going to work for now. Reclinable, adjustable, way better than them racing buckets. Let me know in the comments what you think. Oh, what are we looking at? Now, guys, here's how things roll when you're dealing with other people's stuff. So I'm going through and setting the valves, and I noticed that valve, the rocker was sitting crooked. Well, geez, maybe the stud's bent. Well, as you can see, stud ain't bent. all pretty straight in there. Take the rocker off. Let's see if I can get this to where you can see. I don't know if this will show up on camera or not, but look at how crooked this frickin' rocker is. It's like it was pressed wrong from the stinking factory, and look at where the valve was running. So obviously we're not running a brand new rockers, because if this thing's never been run, as clean as it is in there, they reused the rockers, the stamped steelies. But look at how crooked the front nose is. And how high it is on this side, where it was supposed to be punched. That's in the center. But you get to looking at it, and it all leans to the left, which was causing the rocker to do this and this. And I'm looking at it while I'm sitting there. It didn't look abnormal until I got straight up and down on it. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that off center? Sure enough. So now I got to go dig through my pile and see what I can find. I might have one of these fairly new when I changed the roller rockers on my other motor. I might have one. Otherwise, that high mileage 305 might have one, and I just got to find one that's not wore out. But really? The kind of luck we run into. Alright, just thought I'd update you guys on that. Moving along. Alright. After a couple hours of looking around and trying to find what the right shit. 7 miles over in another town. Got that. I was looking for just the rocker came up. Looking, melling. Looking. Nobody has it. Can't get it for 3 days because of the holidays or whatever. And they wanted, it's like $6 for the rocker, and they wanted $7 to ship it if I wanted it, shipped. And well, then they had this kit instead of a rocker, instead of just the rocker arm, they got a rocker arm kit. It's $6.49, and it comes with the damn nut and the freaking pivot. And one place had it. They had two of them, 7 miles away. So we got her. So I'm gonna throw some oil on this stuff, and then we'll get them in there. Boop. And yeah, right in there. And yeah, finish doing the valve job and put this back together, and she should be done for done. Shouldn't have to look inside these damn rockers ever again. At least not for a while. So all right, that's just the update. It's been a few hours, so that pile, and hopefully I have to check. Hopefully that push rod is all right, because it was riding crooked in there. So might flip it upside down and stick it in the damn lifter. Let it wear down there for a while. All right, just another update. Oh, guys, if it ain't one thing, it's one more thing. So I don't know why stupid camera won't focus on that. But the stud was worn through by that crooked ass rocker being crooked. It just got worse and worse and wore through, and that's why the dang thing wasn't riding right. I don't get it. So a good thing I had another one of those laying around. And now it rides in the center. And when I pulled that out, coolant came flying out. So now I got to change the oil, which I was going to do anyways, but I just got to do it earlier than I planned. I'll have to stop and pick up oil on the way tomorrow. I got the filters for that thing over here. I got some wicks, get rid of them frams. Oh, excuse my French. And we'll get me some oil for in here and some zinc maybe. Get it, I don't know if it's been broke in or not, so we'll run some of that. And yeah, but we are officially completely valve train set. Time to put the covers on. Should be the last time I have to dink around with it. So do this for me, guys. Fingers crossed, no more issues. On to the next. All right, while I was digging around looking for that replacement stud, I came across this guy. This, my friends, is an adjustable 2 dual feed line. I had it on a tunnel ram with 2 4s on it, but it has the pressure gauge, which I kind of like to have when I'm setting up this new this new fuel pump that's coming tomorrow. It's an 80 gallon an hour. I think I ordered the 80 gallon, either that or it's 110 gallon an hour, whichever. It's supposed to be 8 to 10 psi, which is a little high for this. Hollies are pretty good with 8, but at least I'll know what I got. And then I can put a regulator in line. I got a little inline regulator that I can adjust this down to 6 if I need to. 6 is usually pretty good. I'm hoping the new one that's coming is 8. 8 would be perfect for these carbs. Edelbrocks don't like more than 6. Hollies love 7 and I think the 9. Don't quote me on that, but 7 to 8 really they run decent. So this piece here is fine. I mean, whatever. But this has been this is probably 29 years old. I mean, when I was 21 years old, I had this on my big block Chevelle, and it does have a chance to, it never did, but it's been sitting for 29, 30 years. I just hope it won't leak here. The rubber gasket that's in there's still pliable, but it's kind of misshapen from being sitting for so long. And I have to slide this in to get it to the proper size for there to there. So, good score. Hope it don't leak. Oh, and it's got another filter in here, which is great. More filters the better right now because, and it's removable and cleanable. You can clean it out. It's one of them stone filters. And yeah. Anyways, I'm going to be running one back there, a bigger micron. This line, I blew it out today. Threw brake clean through it and some penetrating oil and some more brake clean, and this shop stank of frickin' varnish like you wouldn't believe. And I think it was plugged. So I've been blowing through every chance I get. I let it sit, and then I blow it out and put some new in, and let it sit and blow it out and put some new in, and hopefully that'll clean up. But extra filter, gonna run a clear one so I can see, and then a 10 micron back there. So we will be filtered up, and just have to double check everything, make sure everything's filtering and flowing as it should. Can't run this until that fuel pump comes, because my little electric clickety-clack Edelbrock, the hose curled inside the flipping fuel tank, inside that, and was sucking air, and I was trying to figure out why this wasn't getting any fuel, and I was dicking around, and the damn thing burned up because it was running for so long with no fuel running through it. So now that don't work. Yeah, it's $60 in the toilet. I've had it a year, so whatever. Close to a year. Whatever. Again, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. And then more things. And another thing. So, valve cover's back on. Valve adjustment's done. Gonna put this on and be ready for tomorrow. Fuel pump will come. Run the lines. Tonight I'm putting the filter on. And then tomorrow I gotta buy new lines when I go pick up the pump. New lines. And we'll run that part. And we should be good to go. Alright. Getting there. That looks good. I always did like the way that looked. Nice and substantial up front with that nice filter. And it's actually in pretty good shape for being passed around for so many years, from house to house to house that I moved to. And I mean, like I said, I was 21, 22. That was 29 to 31 years ago in that ballpark. Let my age out. But I don't even know if Summit makes it anymore. I'm gonna have to go look. But that's a Summit piece, or the Summit gauge. I mean, 30 years ago, I think I paid $50, $60 for that thing. It was ridiculous. But it looked great on the tunnel ram. And it worked. I mean, I needed that. Wasn't many options, and I needed that. So I could set my electric fuel pump and my regulator up. And yeah, it's all good. So there it is. On to the next thing. Knocking them off the list. Guys. It's another. See that little guy right there? That's where the fuel line comes up for the car, or for the fuel pump comes out, and then you put a hose on it, and it turns around and goes over here, and the pump's missing right now because I got it out. And that's the line I've been spraying brake clean in, and hosing it out, brake clean in, and hosing it out, and it's getting better and better and better, and smells like varnish. But guess what? I just noticed it got real deep down in there. Excuse my fingers. I'm gonna get it to see if I can zoom in better. Look at all the flipping crust in there. If that is all the way through, oh, let's see if I can get a light on that better. That is, I know I'm getting the thing in front of the camera, I know. I'm just trying to get it so I don't have a shadow. Look at that. It's like a stalactite back in there. What the hell do I use to get that out? Need some carb cleaner, but I don't know if that'll work. That comes up behind the wheel. Can't see it. See if there's a way I can. I mean, it looks copper on this end, so I don't know if somebody put some copper there. And I get it up to put the filter on the back. I might not even put the filter on the back. It's not even worth it if that damn whole line's all filled with shit. Oof. How long did this car sit? What is with me finding all this stuff that's just ancient old? It's how you get them cheap and how you have fun bringing them back to life. Feels good. Feels good. It's a proud papa moment when you bring them back to life. Gonna have to figure that out. That is some ancient, old, dry, crusty. No wonder the fuel pump that was on there didn't work. I took that thing off and pumped on it and nothing. I had no wind, nothing. No. Like they do, you know, with the diaphragm going back and forth. Yeah, I did it. I did it twice. That's right. You heard me. If that stuff was, what kind of gas was he running? Oh, the gas is supposed to be better. What the hell was in it? It's like new gas. Oh, I'll have to run some other stuff through. I got to think this one over, guys. I'll let you know what I come up with. Oh, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Yeah. Good times. Troubleshooting. I like puzzles. I don't like crossword puzzles. I don't like, any of those kind of puzzles, mystery puzzles, or anything like that on paper. But I sure like me an automotive puzzle. They stress me out, drive me crazy. Figure it out, then I smile, and I'm all happy, and then I get another car, and I'm like, again? Really? Put the thinking cap on. Figure out the puzzle. Find a way to get her done. That's all we can do. Get her done. All right. Thanks for listening to me to do the Rambletron. And we're getting closer, guys. Maybe Christmas Day I get to drive it around the parking lot. Ah, crap. Put the valve cover back on. I needed that off to get the dang throttle out so I could weld that back together because it broke. One step backwards. I'll get that done tonight too. At least get it out so I can weld it tomorrow. Alright. Here we go. I went ahead and my fuel pump showed up. So this is a TSP 80 gallon per hour mechanical fuel pump. Should be more than enough for this motor. I got new lines. I got those put in just now. Got this line put in with a filter. And then that new rail so I can see what we got for fuel pressure, make sure, you know, and then I got enough room in this that if I have to, I can put in here, I can put a fuel pressure regulator. So we'll see how this is. I talked to the gentleman that's when I was at the Turkey Rod Run in Daytona, and TSP is the new company out of China, for God's sakes, but try buying something that ain't out of China. Said they make them for Edelbrock and they make them for Holley. All their fuel pumps. They're making for Edelbrock all their intakes. Holley, I think, as well. And Holley's patent ran out on their carburetors, and TSP is making all their carburetors, not Holley's, but making copies of Holley's. And the guy said that Summit has their own brand of carburetor and their own brand of intake and their own brand of fuel pump. Summit branded, all stamped into it and everything, and they're getting high ratings. Guess who makes them? TSP. I guess it stands for Total Street Performance. So they're making all this stuff for everybody else. And when I saw that available for the price, I couldn't beat it. I mean, to buy it from Edelbrock, it's $180 for that stupid pump, and this one was $70. Or, I take that back, $49.95, $52 with tax, and polished. It ain't perfect polish, but down there you can't tell. It looks good from here. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it lasts. You know, that's all we got to say. You know, go buy an Edelbrock. It's made in China. Buy them. So, got that in. Waiting on those hoses. I'm going to run the advance line for the vacuum advance. I need to pull that out and probably change that gear, but I really want to know if I need to, because that other distributor has a bronze gear on it that I pulled out of here. Did the guy put it on there because it's a roller motor, or did he just buy that thing used and it had the gear on it and it was just running it? Because I don't need to change it if I don't need to change it. I don't want to change it if I don't need to change it. So yeah, there's my little list. Change oil because all the water got in there when I changed that rocker stud. And there was a little bit of water in there. Not a whole lot, but enough that it would have risks things. So I got some O'Reilly's full synthetic and some Lucas braking oil additive, and that's what we'll run. And I'll probably change these filters when everything else shows up so I don't make the mess twice. And all right, guys. That is the update. Can't wait to actually drive this thing and see how it runs. Hey guys, back working on the Dragon Wagon, and figured out what that throttle problem was and what popped and what snapped, and it's got the old style linkage and the old end. Let me turn you around. Yeah, sits on the vehicle like that. The linkage is to the carb. This is what comes out and is attached to your throttle pedal, and nothing to attach it. So what is the odds that, you know, this is a half moon shaped. Sits on there like this, and when you hit the pedal, it goes wappa, 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 wap, and it went wappa, snap, and fell down in the damn firewall back there. So we got that out. I'm gonna have to order a new one. I'm just debating. I know that old style linkage is good thing I didn't brake like that when I was driving it. Because you got to imagine, let me turn you around again. You got to imagine this thing straight out to the carburetor. You go wide open and this thing swings forward and gets stuck and won't let this close. Or it falls down this way and gets stuck and won't close. Your throttle stuck wide open. I mean, it's a pretty good chance. It's a pretty good chance that ain't gonna happen, right? But it comes up and over, and then you got the linkage from here to here, there's plenty of things in here for that to fall down and get stuck on and not allow this to close. That's why they went away from it. That's why they went to cable. Switching one of these over to cable ain't a huge job, but oh, you know, it's just one of those things. Again, I'm impatient, and I want to get this thing moving under its own power. So what I'll probably do for the moment is I'll go ahead and just weld that back together, I guess, and throw it back in and use it for running around here. And then when I get a chance to get over to the junkyard, usually an early mid-90s pickup truck, throttle assembly. You can pick them up for, well, with Biden economics, it's probably a lot more, but it used to be $5 to $7. Pull it yourself, they give you $5. I mean, I even had places, I had like 4 of them because I wasn't sure what was going to work in another build of mine. And the guy's like, just give me $5 for all of them. Nobody ever comes in here for those. So, they're probably $15 now. 2 years ago, I got one for my buddy Chevelle. That was before everything changed. And one yard wanted $35, and I left it on the counter as I left laughing my butt off. And we went to the next junkyard, and I pulled out 2, and they charged us $7 for 2 of them. And one had the right bend in it. You know, we just had to bend it a little bit to get it to where we wanted it to line up. The other one was a little off. I still have that one. It's not going to work for this car because his 64 Chevelle's got the same basically floor structure as this one, so that one wasn't going to work. I'll find another one. Not a big deal. And then I can run a cable, and it'll all be done and over with. Just ain't going to do it now. I don't have time to be running over to the junkyard. It's getting close to New Year's, and oh, by the way, happy holidays to everybody out there. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Hope you had a good time. This video will show up after New Year's. So hopefully everybody had a good time with their families and got together and relaxed and let the stress dry down, and then we're all back to work. So hopefully this 2023 will be a better year for all of us. Fingers crossed. So that being said, I got my fittings in. Turn around again. I buy these. Anybody who wants to know, you know, and fittings. Everybody buys Earl's. Earl's fittings is what everybody buys. And, oh, that's the best quality. And well, I tell you what, through Earl's, this same piece right here, and I've used these on my LS build. Dadnammit, let me get it out. Using it on my LS build for the for my S10, and these are just as good a quality. I have some old Earls laying around, and when I did the build on my S10, and I compared these, and I mean, granted, you can't go in and do a stress test and all that kind of stuff, but it's been on there for over 10,000 miles. You know, I don't drive it that much, but it's been on there 10,000 miles, and been to Florida, drove it from Indiana to Florida and back, and it's been since I finished that truck in the fall of 2019, so 3 years ago, 7 to 10,000 miles, whatever. But anyways, I got a bunch of these on there, and if this was an Earl's, this would be $22, right? This was $11.95, and I got 2 of them in a package. 2 in a package for $11.95. So I got another package, and this is the ones that are, I'm going to put them on there to replace the brass ones that are here, just because I think they'll seal better. This is the same brand. I bought this and the hose kit from them. That hose kit through Earl's was like $189, and through these guys, it came with those 2 end fittings that are on the hose and 2 90s, and it was $78. Something like that. I'll have to go back and look. But this is the brand name. It's a goofy name. But they have 5-star ratings on Amazon. I'm sure it's a Chinese company. I mean, why wouldn't it be, right? Sure, it says right there, made in China. But inexpensive. Same quality so far. I have not run into any problems with my fuel lines or my tranny lines that I did with it. High pressure fuel injection lines, and that's what that is too. And we're going to go ahead and throw these in. These are the ones that I needed to go up into my adapter where the oil filter used to be. I need 2 of these. The 90s are going to come off of these. And then I'm going to run my hose over. And I might come up through here. And then they'd be on the outside instead of nicely tucked through the firewall. Because I just don't know if I can... I can't tuck them behind there because that runs right into the wheel. And over there it starts getting really close to the header. But I might be able to get it swooped over and it just look cleaner. But then 2 of these in here, 2 of these in the adapter. The 90s ain't gonna be here till Tuesday because, well, you know, Amazon screwed me on that, because that was a kit with the 2 90s, like I said, for that money, and they said, oh, it'll be here Tuesday, which is today, which is a few days ago. And as soon as I hit pay, then all of a sudden they give you the delivery schedule, and it's like, yep, the hose and the 2 straights will be here on Tuesday, and the 2 90s will be here the following Tuesday, which is after New Year's. It was a kit. It says kit with all of this. It's all in one, supposed to be in one package, one box, right? Amazon? Liars. Well, what are you going to do? If I bought them separately, it's going to come on Tuesday anyways. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to throw that up in the air and get underneath there and get the lines figured out. So when the 90s come, I just have to put the 90s on and hope and pray that there's enough room for it to all fit. Oh, I don't know if I showed you that. I did get the new fuel pump. I might have already said that. If not, if I did, I'll edit this up. But yeah, new rubber line, new rubber to that. I hooked it up to the tank with the fuel filter back there. I'm half tempted before I even to unhook this from here and run it into a bucket the first couple of pumpies to see what the hell comes out of this thing. Because who knows what that tank looks like. I might be putting the cart before the horse, but I'm going to throw a bunch of Lucas down there to lube it all up, and I'm going to throw, maybe 5-10 gallons back there to dilute whatever's back there, let it sit a little bit, and fingers crossed. Technically, I should drop that damn tank. I should drop the tank, but I just hate doing. I'm gonna change that tank, kinda. I don't really like the way it's set up back there, but I'm not ready to. And when I change the tank, it'll be a brand new tank. I don't want to drop this one and go through all that crap. Probably gonna regret it. Am I any different than any of you guys out there? You don't like doing all the extra work. You work, this isn't my full-time job. This is my side gig, and it's not a side gig. It's just a hobby, It's a side thing that I'm putting out on YouTube, for crying out loud. And yeah, so I'm probably gonna regret it. But I'm going to run it through that. I've got a couple of filters, so if I end up having a fuel problem, maybe the first filter's catching all the crap and it'll get plugged up real quick. I've got a bunch of those clear filters I bought. I'm sure they're going to get plugged up real quick. And if there's a bunch of shit in it. But that's why I like the clear ones for the start. I can see what's coming through and what's going on. And then, yeah, so that's what we're doing today here at the shop. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking it out. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this week. And I know it's been a couple of weeks since I put out a video. It's probably because of the holidays. Not probably. It is because of the holidays. Got a little behind with everything, like we all do. I'm going to start bringing out content a little shorter than these hour-long ones. I figure you guys want to see a little more of what I'm doing and not have to wait, but I'll probably bring out a few more videos and just start doing shorter videos. And I'm running out of content as far as I've got stuff to work on, but not stuff that's going to be an hour a week worth of video. So with the Dragon Wagon, this was going to be just a couple of videos long, and it's going to be probably another couple of videos. So I'll go ahead and the next video will be, I'll just show you the hoses and everything lined up and restarting this and rerunning it, and then that'll be the next video. Be short, and then a few other things that we're doing to it. So I appreciate you guys checking it out, coming to visit me at my shop in my 2-pound box full of stuff. 11 pounds of crap in a 2-pound box. I do appreciate you guys. I hope you had a great holiday. And like I said, this video will probably pop out. It's popping out probably after a good week or so after the holidays, because it's been crazy. But so Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully 2023 is great for all of us. And may whatever your resolutions are come true. Stick to them. And as far as hot rodding goes, keep wrenching.